Have you ever wondered why some people work hard their entire lives, yet still struggle financially, while others seem to grow wealth consistently, year after year? The truth is, it often has less to do with how much money you make, and far more to do with the traps you fall into along the way. These money traps are sneaky. They creep into your daily life, and before you know it, they're quietly keeping you stuck in place. The good news, once you recognize them, you can escape them. So today, we're breaking down 7 money traps that are secretly keeping you broke. And more importantly, the practical steps you can take to free yourself. Number 1. Lifestyle inflation. This is one of the most common money traps. And the reason it's so dangerous is because it often happens so subtly, you don't even realize it's happening. You start earning a little more at work. Maybe it's a raise. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe you pick up a side hustle, and instead of saving or investing that extra income, you immediately start spending it. You upgrade your car. You move into a bigger apartment. You buy more expensive clothes. You treat yourself to eating out more often. And at first, it feels like you're living better, because technically you are. But here's the catch. When your spending rises in lockstep with your income, you're not actually moving forward. You're just treading water at a slightly higher level. This is lifestyle inflation. It's why so many people making $100,000 a year still feel broke. They've allowed their expenses to balloon to match their paycheck. And if you're not careful, it can follow you for decades. To escape this trap, the key is to freeze your lifestyle whenever your income goes up. If you can live comfortably on $50,000 a year, and you keep living that same lifestyle when you start earning $75,000, that extra $25,000 becomes your wealth-building engine. Redirect it toward investments, savings, or paying off debt. That's how ordinary people transform raises into financial freedom instead of just fancier bills. Number 2. High-interest debt. Credit cards, payday loans, and even certain types of car loans can come with such punishingly high interest rates that they trap you in a cycle of repayment that feels never-ending. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you have $5,000 on a credit card with a 20% interest rate. If you only make the minimum payments, it could take more than 20 years to finally pay it off. Over those 2 decades, you wouldn't just pay back the $5,000 you borrowed. You'd pay thousands more in interest, often more than the original balance. And that's the painful truth. High-interest debt keeps you working for the bank instead of for yourself. Every month you're paying interest. That's money you can't use for investing, saving, or building a future. To escape this trap, you need a clear and aggressive strategy. Start by targeting any debt with double-digit interest rates. There are 2 popular approaches. The avalanche method, where you pay off the highest interest debt first, saving the most money in the long run. The snowball method, where you start with the smallest balance. Knock it out quickly and build momentum and motivation as you go. Both work, but the important part is to pick one and stick to it. And above all, avoid adding to that debt while you're trying to dig yourself out. Number 3. Not having an emergency fund. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. Cars break down, medical bills pop up. Jobs get lost, appliances stop working. It's never a question of if, but when. Without an emergency fund, those surprises turn into financial disasters. You end up relying on credit cards, payday loans, or borrowing from friends and family. That quick fix solves today's problem, but it leaves you deeper in debt and less prepared for the next emergency. That's why an emergency fund is not just a suggestion, it's a financial safety net. And here's the important part. Dose and tea have to be huge at the beginning. Even starting with $500 can give you some breathing room. That small buffer means the next flat tire or unexpected bill doesn't completely derail you. Over time, your goal should be to build an emergency fund large enough to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That might sound overwhelming, but the easiest way to do it is to automate your savings. Set up a separate account just for emergencies and arrange automatic transfers every paycheck. Little by little, it will grow, and one day you'll realize you've built real security. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you have money set aside is priceless. Instead of panicking when life happens, you'll be ready, and that stability keeps your long-term goals intact. Number 4. Spending without a plan. Here's the hard truth. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will disappear faster than you expect. You get paid, you cover the essentials like rent and bills, and then the rest seems to vanish. Take out here, a couple of subscriptions there, maybe some impulse shopping or nights out. At the end of the month, you check your account and wonder, where did it all go? That's what happens when you don't budget. Now, I know the word budget can feel restrictive, like it means never having fun again. But the truth is, a good budget isn't about cutting joy from your life. It's about creating a plan for your money. One of the simplest approaches is the 50-30-20ths rule. Allocate 50% of your income to needs like housing, groceries, and bills. Set aside 30% for wants, things like dining out, entertainment, or hobbies. And put the final 20% into savings and investments. The beauty of this method is that it balances responsibility with enjoyment. You still get to spend on fun things, but you're also making sure your future self is taken care of. And here's the best part. Budgeting gives you back control. Instead of wondering where your money went, you'll know exactly where it's going. And you'll see how each paycheck moves you closer to your goals, instead of just slipping through your fingers. Number 5. Falling for lifestyle comparison. If lifestyle inflation is subtle, lifestyle comparison is loud and in your face. And thanks to social media, this trap is more dangerous than ever. You open Instagram or TikTok and see people your age driving brand new cars, traveling to exotic destinations, buying designer clothes, or living in apartments that look like they came out of a magazine. It's easy to feel like you're falling behind. The temptation is to spend just to keep up, even if you can't really afford it. But here's the reality, you can't see. A lot of those luxury lifestyles are funded by debt. Many of the people posting highlight reels of vacations and shopping sprees are also stressed about money. Maxing out credit cards or living paycheck to paycheck. The flashy image rarely tells the full story. Escaping this trap requires a mindset shift. Instead of comparing yourself to strangers online, start comparing yourself to your past self. Ask, am I doing better than last year? Am I saving more than I used to? Have I reduced some of my debt? Those are the comparisons that matter. Remember this, real wealth is often built quietly. The people living the most financially stable lives usually aren't flaunting it online. They're the ones steadily investing, living below their means, and focusing on their long-term goals. If you want to win with money, stop trying to impress others and start competing only with yourself. Number 6. Ignoring investing. A lot of people think investing is only for the wealthy or that it's too complicated and risky to even try. So they play it safe and leave their money sitting in a savings account. But here's the problem. Over time, inflation eats away at your money's value. You may think you're saving, but in reality, you're losing purchasing power year after year. Let's run some numbers. Imagine you save $100 every month for 30 years in a basic savings account earning almost no interest. At the end, you'll have about $36,000. That might sound okay until you compare it with investing. Put that same $100 a month into a simple index fund, averaging 7% per year. And after 30 years, you'd have over $120,000. That's more than 3 times as much, all from the same amount of money. That difference is the power of compounding, and it's not reserved for financial experts or billionaires. It's available to anyone who starts early and stays consistent. To escape this trap, start small. If your employer offers a retirement account with a match, contribute enough to get the full match. It's essentially free money. If not, open your own retirement account or use low-cost index funds and ETFs. The key is to automate your contributions so investing becomes a habit not something you think about occasionally. The earlier you begin, the less money you'll need to put in over time. Because compounding will do the heavy lifting for you. Waiting, on the other hand, makes it much harder to catch up later. So don't ignore investing. It's one of the most powerful tools for building lasting wealth. Number 7. Not continuing to learn about money. One of the most overlooked money traps is failing to keep growing your financial knowledge. Many people stop after they've learned the basics of budgeting and saving. But the financial world is always changing. Tax laws shift, investment opportunities evolve. New ways of earning income appear, and even technology changes how we handle money. If you don't keep learning, it's easy to fall behind. Think about it. 10 years ago, few people were talking about things like index funds on TikTok, cryptocurrency, or side hustles through apps. Imagine how much opportunity you would have missed if you never paid attention. Escaping this trap means treating financial education like a lifelong habit. Read books about money, listen to podcasts. Watch educational videos, follow experts who break down complex topics in simple ways. The more you understand, the more confident you'll be when making financial decisions. And here's the big secret. The people who consistently build wealth are not always the ones with the highest incomes. They're the ones who know how to use money as a tool, who make informed decisions, and who never stop learning. The moment you stop growing your knowledge, you stop growing your potential. If you found this video helpful and you're serious about breaking free from these traps, take a second right now to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll get access to more strategies for building wealth and achieving financial freedom. And you'll join a community of people working toward the same goal. Don't let these money traps control your future.